With social media and influencers these days, it can be really easy to think you need something really fancy just to be able to live cheap and free. But the truth is you don't need much at all. You just need a few bins and a flat place to lay your head at night. It might be a little more akin to car camping, which is just fine with me as long as I don't have to pay any bills, because not paying bills is the secret to kind of living this lifestyle. My name is Ryan. My friends call me Kodak. I've spent the last 8 years kind of adventuring all around the world. In 2012, I sold everything I owned that wouldn't fit on a bicycle and I started traveling. I cycled to Maine, I cycled to El Salvador, I hiked the Appalachian Trail, a big chunk of the Pacific Crest Trail, the Baja Divide. I spent 4 months riding a motorcycle around Vietnam and Southeast Asia. I cycled across the country, like bikepacking on the Arizona Trail and the Great Western Trail from Mexico to Canada. I've lived in a lot of strange places over the years. I sold my car in 2012 along with everything else, and I moved into a squat. I lived in a yurt, I lived in an equipment trailer at a job site. I worked as an arborist for a lot of years. Now I live in a minivan. It's unique living situations like these that have given me the financial freedom to travel the way that I do. So I want to kind of share with you how I'm currently doing it and how you can do it too. I'm talking way too much. This is like way too much here. So let me just get into it and show you my van and show you a cheap way you can live. I am in the process of like doing a really simple build. I just like built a floor in here and stuff, and I pulled all the seats out. So now I have like a ton more storage, and it's definitely a little more comfortable. But like this setup here is super cozy. The trouble is I keep acquiring more stuff. I now have like 2 crash pads and bicycles, and I got all this stuff. So yeah, I guess that's key number 2 is don't have much stuff. You gotta live minimally to do this. All right, let's do it. Let's check it out. So here's my front door. Got my bed, got my closets and all my storage space. I've got paracord hung up along the whole thing here to serve as like clothesline and anything I want to just clip to it to kind of get out of the way real quick. Got a crash pad, got my 10-gallon propane tank. I use it to run the stove, and my little buddy heater. It's been really, really cold in Flagstaff lately. This is one of my favorite things. Just a little lap desk, so I can use that. I do all my morning journaling, sit here, do my writing, my work bag right here. So I've got a computer at easy access, work right off the lap desk here. Boom, I'm working away. A lot of times I'll set the computer on like my cooler or on one of my bins and use that as a desk. And I use a drawing tablet to like edit my photos and whatnot. So then I can sit here with a drawing tablet on this, the computer up on one of the desks, and I can just work away right on my little tablet here. Works pretty well. Computer always just goes right back in the bag. It's nice too, because I do a lot of work out of coffee shops and stuff. So I've got a little Goal Zero Yeti 200X solar charger. It'll power that computer twice, and I've got 2 small solar panels to power this guy. And a lot of times too, I've got a little inverter here, and it'll take a few hours. I think maybe it's like 4 or 5 hours to like fully charge this thing off the power inverter. So that's good when I'm just driving around. I'll just plug this guy right into that. I also just always leave my string lights connected to the inverter. I've got them just tucked up along the whole edge of the van. That way they're always getting charged. You can also set them out in the sun, but it's easier just to let the car charge them while I drive. I just use a cheap little Pocket Rocket knockoff to make my coffee and stuff in the morning. If I don't feel like getting out of the van to do it, I run my like big 2-burner that'll just run off a table, and I do most of my cooking on that. I've used a cooler as a table for a long time before I actually got like the table. I do tarps as like my like kind of main shelters for outside of it. I'll string them up right off the van itself, or I'll tie them to trees like it is now. I've got a chair. My toilet is either the ground, I've got a shovel and I'll just dig cat holes, or I've got one of these like luggable loos. I can go into more detail if you guys want to like an actual video, but I just do like cat litter in a bag, right? So I just string the bag up, fill it with some like scoops of cat litter, and that's the toilet when I don't feel like pooping in the ground. What else you want to know? One of my favorite things are these little Yuko candles. They're great for just like, you know, that little nice mood lighting. All right, so in the back of the van, I got my Yeti cooler. That'll hold like all my food. A lot of times I don't even keep ice in it. I just use it for kind of just like dry storage. That's what I did during quarantine this year. I just like filled this sucker full of food and one of these bins entirely full of food and just lived out of that for like, I don't know, damn near 2 months. All my clothes just live in my duffel bag here. This is the only solar panel I could get a hold of when COVID hit. Normally I would just like charge my stuff in coffee shops, but with coffee shops and everything closing down, I didn't have a choice. So I picked up this. It wasn't quite enough power, so I got the Nomad 50, and you can chain them together, and together they'll charge my little battery bank in, I don't know, I think like 5 hours or something. They like really charge it up pretty good. Over here, I've got 2 6-gallon water containers. That's enough for like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks or something like that. It really kind of depends. I've got the Everest 2X camp stove. I really love this stove. It's incredible. It's super powerful, and like I can fit my giant, I don't know if it's a 10 or 12-inch cast iron skillet on it, but I can fit that, and yeah, I guess it's a 12-inch skillet, and I can fit the little 10-inch fry pan on there too, and it's super fast. My little camp table, another like tarp and tarp bag. I buy these tarps for super cheap at secondhand stores. Like I think I paid maybe $10 for that whole kit. Let's show you around the other side here. All right, so we got crash pad. I love climbing and bouldering. My work bag, and I mean, that's about it. I would normally use this thing for storage here, but I don't need it right now. Over here, we've got just kind of like a stuffed bin. So this is where I just like, you know, put like food and my little AeroPress, all my coffee stuff. Just anything I want to get to really fast. Bread, peanut butter. Got 2 little plates in here. I love Calm. I don't know if you guys use this stuff, but it really helps me sleep. I love those. I swear by this stuff. But yeah, that's my van. It's just a few bins that Exped Megamat camp bed. REI makes one that's even cheaper. Yeah, that's my life. I almost forgot to show you my favorite part of this setup is how versatile and easy it is. If I'm gonna be gone for a while, I can flip my bed up and stash my bikes in there. So this is no small bike. This is a large Surly EC-R. It's huge. It's a monster, a behemoth of a bike. But I can fit it and my gravel bike in there with no problems at all. And then I don't have to worry about anybody stealing them. Usually one lives on the roof, the other just lives out here, or I'll stash it at a friend's place or something. But yeah, super easy. So I'm curious why you want to live van life. Let me know in the comments below. That's my van, that's my life. I've got to take those seats back today, so this is like my last chance to show you this like super simple setup that anybody can do. This will work in, I mean, you can do this in an SUV, you can even do this in cars. And there we have it. There's a new home all set up, ready to take these seats to my buddy's house.